Researchers at Indiana University showed video clips from 24 different dates. They asked male and female participants two simple questions. Do you think the man was interested in this woman? And do you think the woman was interested in this man? Their answers were then compared with the responses of the speech daters themselves. The results published in the January issue of the journal Psychological Science show that both men and women were able to gauge, as in they were able to determine a man's interest in a woman. However, on the other hand, they were unable to determine if the woman was interested. So KK is here with me now, and we're going to quickly look at this. Is it difficult to understand women?
Well, I won't say women are unpredictable. I would say women might just be a little harder to read. And that might be as a result of different factors growing up. But at the end of the day, I think the fact that a lot of people, both men and women, were unable to establish if there was a proper connection between both parties. I think the fact that happened. Okay, so I think, despite that, it doesn't really necessarily mean that women are difficult to understand. I feel like it just means we're difficult to read because, first off, when you talk about trying to understand something, someone, anything, it goes on a very deep level. And to start with, I would want to say that first off, we as humans don't even understand ourselves enough. Or we don't
enough yet.
Ourselves totally. Talk less of going further to think you will be able to understand someone else. So at the end of the day, all we can do is observe, listen, and make the best of what we see and hear and, pick up and try to make sense of it. Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily, result in a deeper understanding per se. So, I think it's difficult to understand. No, not really. I think women are just they won't put it out there. You see, there's a difference between men, right? Men are very, very simple-minded creatures in every way. I would say that men, you know that, right? Men are very. I feel like in a no offense kind of way, but men are very like surface level, and women we have a lot more to worry about. We have to worry about our body.
So there's more depth. There's more depth, right?
Yes, there's a whole lot more depth to women than there is to men, honestly. And it's also a thing of these days where you do something to a woman and you do something to a man and you just have totally different reactions. Men would just shrug it off and be like, nah. But women are more emotional. You're a lot more sensitive. So what might appeal to or what might not appeal to a man might appeal to us and vice versa, right?
Okay.
So I don't think Nigerian women or women in particular are difficult to understand. I think it's just like we just don't have enough or just don't know enough about them. And we would like to keep it a little that way.
I agree with that one.
Yeah, we would like to keep it a little that way because it's not we haven't, I don't know, I would say in Nigeria, or let me put this to a way I know that I can speak from experience. Growing up, my mom used to tell me, women are meant to be seen, not heard. So yeah, you think about it, right? I saw that you made that.
That was like traditions now.
Yeah, exactly. Women, and then I used to think about it like, so I'm not really meant to talk too much. I'm just supposed to look nice, or am I just
like a trophy?
Exactly. And I think that if we grow up with that kind of ideology or mentality, which is what I think a lot of our women has grown up with over the years, you're gonna spend more time at the end of the day being or trying to be mysterious. Because let's assume now you have something or you have a lot of things to say. You have a lot of things you want to do in the world. You're very ambitious or you're this and you're that. And somehow all your life you've been told, no, you can't do this. You're a woman. You can't do this. Because at the end of the day, society does limit things that women can do. As simple as statements, women are meant to be seen, not heard, which may or may not be true in any kind of context. I don't know. As simple as it is, it has the ability to limit a lot of things for women.
The psychology of the woman.
Yeah. Exactly. So imagine hearing that from a young age, and you know it's something that you carry along with you as you tend to grow up. At the end of the day, if at all you were even meant to be an open book, your brain is just going to be rewired and you're going to be a mysterious person. So if we have things we feel inside, it's not exactly, you know, we might feel like it might not be proper to say it out, you know, or you don't express yourself too much just like that, you know. So if studies show that they were not able to read women and if they liked men, yeah, it might have to do with a lot of the fact that, you know, some of us have been, or a lot of women have been tamed or have been
tamed.
Yeah, they've been tamed. They've grown up being tamed. So even if I do like a man or a woman, let's assume, because right now we're in a different kind of world, but let's assume I like someone and we're on a date and you can't tell, I might be bubbling inside of excitement, but I won't necessarily show it because all my life I've been tamed like, oh, keep things on a low profile. You're not meant to do this. You're not meant. Do you understand? So somehow that might not necessarily be our fault as women. It might be, and now we're relating this to Nigerian women, and we know how we are about our culture. We're not just the ones to throw culture. Exactly. So this is how we have been raised for time and time, you know, generation to generation. And this is just only one factor, which I think might be a reason women, you know, might not be able to be easily understood. There are definitely a whole lot of other factors, you know. So yeah. Men
so they have to evolve a better way to socialize.
Yeah.
That would come without those kind of consequences.
Yes, sort of. Because now, when men are simple-minded now, right? In this same scenario where I have given you, you barely or rarely hear that in Nigerian or African home, you know, them tell guys stuff like, oh, you're not meant to come outside, you're not meant to do this, you're not meant to be seen. Yeah, it's not a common thing you hear. Mostly with the guys, it's usually just about grow up, be a man of the house, make money, yada yada yada. Exactly. So
men were already taught ambition.
Exactly. So they already have, you know, this. They really don't have anything holding them back or clipping their wings at the end of the day, right from childhood. Instead, they are trying to be put out there at that age. Yeah. So yeah, it's two different things. It's a push and a pull on, you know, two opposing ends. So men being simple-minded already and then having that kind of grooming is just going to aid them to be more simple-minded. And then women, it takes a woman breaking out of that kind of stereotype or that kind of training or ideology to be able to be a little more expressive, you know, and be obvious. Yeah,
because it has taken a lot of conditioning.
Exactly. So yeah, I think that's one factor about it. Yeah.
I think you actually gave it very deep. Yeah, you gave. I like the psychological background you brought with it, and of course social. Because I mean, someone who knows that there are consequences for her expressive, for her being, you know, you said someone has been dating for a while. So those kind of people will definitely want to create some kind of cocoon or some kind of thing where they have to, like, learn how to communicate without, the consequences that come. And I know it's just patriarchy that actually created all these things anyway.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful we're actually growing out of it. But there's something I want to discuss with you.
Okay.
There's something called femme fatale.
All right.
Femme fatale. It's an idea that women are supposedly sources of damnation, destruction. You see religious texts saying the same thing. And they're reinforcing this belief. Even there are subtext you find in movies, in cartoons from little children's age, where you see kids watching this kind of programming, where you hear that, and if you want to send anything seductive to your personal temptation forms, they come in female forms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're with me there.
Yeah.
So, like, how do we break down that stereotype that women are, are sources, they are sources of damnation or stuff like that?
Well, first off, I think I would start by saying that in this part of the world, I would just say that men, or not in this part of the world, in the world generally, because I think that it's a thing everywhere right now. First off, women have always had a strong foot in the door and a stronghold on community and everything, because let's start from the fact that women are basically the source of life on earth. We give birth to life.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So first off, this whole femme fatale thing, about women being seductive, attracting men, with that aura and charm, I would say that right from hundreds of years ago, one thing, and I think that's the reason why this term feminism is in play right now. One thing I know is the fact that almost all our lives, or for all of the time that we have existed, women have never just had to do things on their own. Society always thinks they can dictate what women should and shouldn't do. Just like I just told you that they said a woman should be seen and not heard. Yeah, that's a society thing. I don't know why. It never really works on the man, or they never really hold the men up to it the way they do to women. And this has made women, normally we know that men are the head of the house and whatnot, and women are taken as the weaker vessels due to the sensitive, soft side.
Perceived, right? The programming and stuff.
They've been, they think, or society has programmed it to be that women should be the softer, submissive, quiet, don't talk too much, that kind of thing. So this thing about femme fatale, honestly, it actually builds up some kind of excitement in me. I won't lie, because I feel it is.
Really?
Yes, I feel like it is the way that women are for once breaking out of the barriers and all the conditioning that they've been put through for years and centuries, if you think about it.
So they are weaponizing, they are weaponizing that saying more they are throwing at them.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, for years, what women are very powerful people. We're very powerful creatures, and what I think is all these rules, customs, do this and don't do that they give to women and tell women how to live their lives, to be a modest, decent woman. I think I should emphasize on that. Society is always trying to, tell a woman how to live so she's perceived as a modest or decent, well-bred woman, a man would want to marry or keep in the house or yada, yada, yada. I like that they are breaking out of that, because being a femme fatale is going against everything you've been conditioned to think of as a woman. You don't have to serve a man. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. You understand? I feel like it's about them taking back power and saying, no, you guys have subdued me for too long. This is my power, and I will do what I want to do with it. And at the end of the day, women have so much power. And I think the reason why all these things came into existence in the first place is as a result of the fact that you fear what you cannot control, or something that is so powerful. So instead, you just decide.
So they demonize it.
Exactly. They put it under wraps at a very early time, and they have pushed it for years and years and years. But apparently, one day is for the owner. Everybody is going to wake up at some point. So I think femme fatale it is a power of women waking up and saying, yeah, no, this is my power, and you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to take it back now and use it on you. So a woman's seductiveness, a woman's charm, a woman's aura, mystery, it's part of what makes her a woman. Except, I think every woman has this, except it depends on how society has just really murdered it down for you. So the women that, have probably taken too much are like, yeah, I'm going to take this back. And they use this to their own advantage now, because they're now finally stepping up to the men. They're telling them, you can't tell me what to do. You can't talk to me like that. You can't throw me all around and expect me to be loyal to you. Instead, I will do what you are doing, and then we'll see how it goes. Now, the women are doing exactly what the men have been doing for a whole period. And now we target femme fatale, the woman without, the unnecessary emotions. She thinks like a man. Honestly, when you think about a femme fatale, it's just like a woman acting like a man, right? No commitment, no unnecessary emotion, no unnecessary. It's just men. We're mirroring you guys, but you guys don't like that. So because y'all want to be in control,
we try to,
yeah, y'all just
fight
on top. And I don't think women are sources of domination. I think women are sources of life. And in this femme fatale thing they're doing, there's just a way of refining it to the life that they deserve, or they think they deserve, and the life that they want. So, yeah.
I also want to add, let me correct you there. I also want to add that there are some cultures that do not actually endorse this femme fatale thing. There is the Western and the the Middle Eastern culture, the Abrahamic cultures. Most of them tend to have masculine, feminine, and masculine divine. Where a masculine figure is a divinity, is the divine figure, and we have mostly in African cultures we have divine feminines. We have women who are goddesses, who are worshipped. Yep. So most of these, we don't necessarily. I don't want us to universalize the whole thing. There are some areas and cultures that actually uphold and worship women. I don't know if you get my perspective there.
Yeah, I do. I think if there are cultures that, honestly, honor women the way they you say they do, then I think those are the ones that should or would least have a problem with quote unquote femme fatales. Because when you think about it now, let me assume, or let's take Cleopatra of Egypt, for example.
Yeah. You see, that's African.
That's African. However, when you think about it, she does radiate femme fatale energy, right? Except even in the fact, it's just the fact that, she has a royal status. But basically, those are like the kind of characteristics you have to embody, right? Exactly. So in those kinds of cultures, femme fatale, all this thing about domination, seducing, I think they understand that women have this innate power. They respect that, and therefore they don't try to downplay women's roles, lives, tell them what to do and what not, because they see them as, divine beings, as we should be seen. So yes, you can't possibly.
All right.
I have to. All right. You can't come and tell us, you can't tell someone you think is on a higher realm than you what to do and what not to do. So it all boils down to the fact that if you think you can control this person, you will find the narrative. And the narrative so far has been telling women what to do. And I just think this femme fatale thing is just a way of women breaking out. But yeah, it's just up to women to know how much they want to take it or how far they want to take it and how much they take and whatnot. But I don't know. The thing that is that men take without thinking. So I don't wanna be
men do what?
Men take without thinking. So I don't want to be that person that is going to tell women to take as well without thinking, but just take as much as you want, darling. Take as much as you need.
All right. Let me. I like how you've given us an adventure from the past. Giving us how the gender perceptions. I'm glad you use examples like Cleopatra. But now let's come to the modern times. How do you think the modern woman is perceived?
At this time,
do you think someone in maybe 500 BC would experience what? Okay, let's just say if you compare someone in 500 BC and a woman today, do you think there has been kind of like improvements?
Definitely, I would say, because today we are living in a society where, basically, let me just start by saying that 500 BC is a long time ago. Let's start there. And the one constant.
Okay, let's go to 1800.
Huh?
We can even go to 1800, 1900s, things that are very recent.
So any which way, all I'm saying is like the one constant thing in life is change. And so women have changed, evolved at this point in time, just like the whole world has, because I'm pretty sure the world wasn't exactly as it was 500 BC ago. So yeah, women are definitely different. Women in this age and women of that age are definitely going to be different, because then is when, women were being, basically all these laws we're talking about, all these rules, they were really into play there. Those is where all these.
I mean, today now we have issues like career, marriage,
issues like
sexuality.
We're stepping out into a whole bigger world than where it was 500 BC ago. In that time, I don't think women had much to do talk about careers, talk about education, marriage, that kind of thing. You get me? I mean, they do get married, but like not all these different things. Oh, I want to live my life first. I think their lives were very defined. Oh, you give birth, you go to school, learn how to be a woman, you get groomed from the time you were a child to the time you're of age, which, we never even can tell when was the right time, because only God knows when they deemed it of age to be eligible to marry. So yeah, a lot has changed. Right now, there's women interested women are a lot smarter. They're allowed to speak up. They're taking their place in society a lot more through their goals, ambitions. I don't think women were very ambitious or were allowed to live ambitiously right then. So yes, that's one thing. I feel like in this era and 500 years ago or 500 BCs ago, everything is different right now because we're stepping up, we're waking up, we're basically no longer being subdued, and we're like, nah. At this point, it has gone on for too long. It ends with us, basically, and that's the whole of difference. And we're not trying to carry that, for our other incoming generations. It's something we have to fight for. So,
thank you.
Fight for it.
That's beautiful. Let's just. We're almost done anyway. We're almost done.
Okay.
What about the men? Are men to be blamed? It's a rhetorical question. Nobody should attack me.
Okay.
But I need to go. Only your answer.
I think you.
Wow, you cleared your trick for that one.
You exactly. I think you first said no one should attack you because you already know the answer to that question. However, because I don't believe that all these years ago, these women were the ones subjecting themselves to these unnecessary, I don't know if they're unnecessary, I won't say all of them are, some of them are pretty necessary, but some unnecessary laws, views, ideologies. It is basically the man's handwork, basically. So yeah, men will barely let a woman compete in the same space as other men. Why? Because they don't see her as a worthy opponent. At the end of the day, men's heads, they believe women to be inferior, and that is that about it. There is nothing anyone can say or do to change that fact. Men believe women to be inferior, weaker.
Some men, right? Some people come for you for generalizing.
Let them. But then
okay, you know what?
We're gonna then actually evaluate how they react when they get beaten, let's say in a game of basketball by a guy, and how they react if they get beaten in a game of basketball by a woman.
I feel you there. However, let's not forget that patriarchy is a system that was actually upheld by men and women. You know, right? You know that. And now that we're even in modern times, we have men who are also victims of patriarchy. You know the standards now. You know the expectations and pressure.
Definitely, I feel like both sides have their expectations and
right. So we shouldn't put all the weight on.
No, we should.
Only, right?
At the end of the day, when you think about it from both genders, the most of it comes from the man's side, because women are naturally women are naturally comforters or comforting. We are a whole lot of neutral things that men are just not able to be. So it is harder for a man to be able to see a woman doing things he thinks that men should be doing than it would be harder for a woman to see a man doing things that he thinks that women should be doing. Women would easily accept that. Men are, despite the fact that they are simple-minded, let me put that, they could be very rigid in their thinking. Women get to be complicated in their action, not exactly in their thoughts. But what do I know?
Okay.
So I won't say the blame is to be entirely put on the men, but yeah, the men do play a very, very significant role in doing these things, making all these laws, making all these. It is crazy. The men do play a very significant role. If you allowed women to do this, to have as much say as men do, we will not be restricted as much. We will not be limited, because a woman is up there and she would be placing out these rules of guidance out of the best interests of her heart, whatever it might be, because it affects her as well. Now, a man will not do that, because they are not doing it from a place of love or guidance or affection. They want to protect their ego. Let's start there. Because they want a woman to come and displace them, or it's just something. Women are very powerful, like I said. When you see something more powerful than you try your best to keep it under wraps. That's what
more powerful than you.
Yeah, we're more powerful than men. Take it or leave it. It is. You guys do not have the power to shout baby for 2 hours. You guys don't have that power.
You can't do it.
You don't have the power to push out a baby. Can you even go to the toilet for 10 minutes?
Come on.
Can you go to the toilet
Biology
for 10 minutes?
I think you see, the thing is, you see, there's something called, how will I put it, complementary. The ability to function together, having different characteristics.
Yeah.
You see, I think you know, this our conversation now is giving a whole lot of people some traumatic response. We have people, you know, I just want us to know that each gender has a unique role to play in society. And if one chooses to function without the other, there will be some chaos.
I think what we should strive for is an actual balance. That is all. Because at the end of the day, we both have the feminine and masculine sides. Everybody does.
Everybody, right?
Everybody, both men and women. So the important thing, yes, is to strike a balance, but I would say tilt more in the side that you were born into. I wouldn't tilt more to the masculine side because I was born as a woman. Why would I do that? Some people would, some people want to, but me personally, I wouldn't. It's not what I would. I would grow to. I would want to, I acknowledge my masculine side. Yes, there are times where it comes out to play. It's very important. You can't be feminine all the time. You can't have people.
So you believe in gender roles?
Yeah, I do believe in gender roles, but the important thing is just making sure that the sides are balanced. I think in everything, that's the one important thing. Equity, basically. If can be balanced in everything, yes. So if the men create an avenue for women to do their thing, women create an avenue for men to do their thing without thinking they can restrict them, then I think maybe, just maybe, we would get to understand, quote unquote, women better. Because at the end of the day, a whole lot of these restrictions that women have grown up with, they were rules mostly made up by men of the society. So let's just, I don't know. If men can understand that a woman is not inferior, is not below you, you are not above, you are both just humans, because even in biology, men and women are the exact same thing, just with different organs. And what I mean is the physical, breast and whatnot. Exactly. We're exactly the same. There's no actual difference between men and women. So I don't really see why a man should think they might be superior. I think if they can inhibit this thought process, reevaluate the mindset of men, and actually not just reevaluate them, but reorient them or their mindset as well, to see that no one is inferior and no one is superior, then we would all be relaxed to live in our own elements and show ourselves as authentic as we really to be. Yes. I don't think
the education should go for both genders.
There's
been a lot of programming that has happened.
Mm-hmm. I want to hear why.
So even women will also have, like, the education will have to be collected. It will have to collect everybody together. We've understood that women are not complicated. It's just a response that they've had to, learn from the patriarchal systems that women created thousands of years ago. So I'm Francis, and I have Kiki here with me. Thank you guys for sticking around. This is like the first episode. Let's see what happens next.
Yeah.
Kiki, you have anything to say?
Well, not really. Let's just, try and be more equal, fair, so that we get to drop the walls around us that we have grown to build from society right from time. And I guess you would tend to understand women a whole lot more better. Society hasn't really given women the opportunity for us to be as expressive as we should be or as we would want to be. So it's not really our fault if you have a hard time understanding us and we seem mysterious and whatnot. Yeah.
So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. If you have to follow, subscribe, like, just the buttons, whatever it is, just join us. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.